Hello and welcome to the Dad and Sons podcast. We're back again for another, week 567 of the year 2020, Stargate 2020.
What's the progress meter on 2020? We're past the 50% point definitely.
It's 37%. I mean, sorry, 67%.
Oh my god, you made me panic. I was like, wait a second, that can't be right. We're in September, right?
Wait, is that the difference? Is that like how much percentage is left versus how much has progressed?
Yes. Oh man. 37% left still sounds like a lot.
I follow this Twitter that tells me the percentage.
Why'd you torture yourself thusly?
No,
They
Matt.
try to put me it puts a fire under my ass and do shit, man. They do shit, man. So okay.
2020 is the year everybody's taking a break. It's fine.
No, man, you can't take breaks, man. It's a year, man. A year. You know what a year is when you're in your 30s?
Yeah, I know.
30s.
I know.
That's
that
it.
instance,
All of us,
right?
If you're
2020...
39, you're 40. That's it. You take a break, you're 40. That's
2020 is that instance where I actually have been the most productive I've been in years.
Yeah, me too.
This year does feel like it's never ending.
Well, that's good for you guys.
Hey man, you just released a new video. You're as productive as ever. That's like...
No, I'm absolutely not, and I'm ashamed of myself.
That's like
for
two
it.
George videos in 2020.
You're ashamed of yourself.
Fuck you. Okay. I think it's actually going to be really, really interesting afterwards, because one of the big revelations of this whole fiasco is people are finding out how many more jobs could be done remotely than
yes. 2020 is the year of everybody realizes that if you own a computer, you can pretty much do a lot of things.
How good is that, though? How good is that?
I don't know. It depends what industry you work in. I'm going to say I'm pretty lucky.
I'm pretty lucky for sure.
All three of us, technically, I guess.
George is the at-home job. He is the pinnacle of at-home jobs.
George is sorry guys, I can't record the podcast today because I've been editing through the night, through the morning, through the day. I don't even know what day it is type of job.
But that's not like a cool thing. That's just because I'm really bad at time management, because there's no one in my home to light a fire under my ass. Like when I used to have a roommate, at least that was some kind of pressure to keep it going. And
would they come in and like whip you? Come on, George. Come on, boy. You can do it.
No, she would see him do nothing all day, go to work, come back, and then still be doing the same thing, being a couch potato, right? Is that the idea?
No, that's what it's like now. Earlier it was like, oh no, I at least want like the other human beings in my life to think that I'm a sane person, and I don't want to dwell on it, but I guess it is good that we have a very special project to dedicate this week's episode.
We do. Speaking of not dwelling on things, and speaking of getting around to actually accomplishing things that are worthwhile, Ryan Gates, wherever you are, whether you stopped listening a long time ago or whether you are not really named Ryan Gates, can you imagine if he didn't listen anymore? So for anybody who doesn't know, the backstory is, of course, a long, windy while ago, when we were just three sweet, innocent boys before 2020, we watched an anime called Aggretsuko. And we watched season 1, and we all pretty much digged it, right? We talked about it quite a lot. Yeah, we were really into it, and we talked a lot about how realistic it is about not only Japanese society but also working in society in general, and power harassment, sexual harassment, and relationships. And Aggretsuko is pretty
I watched
real.
the dub, and then everyone watched the sub, I believe.
Yeah. So I actually quite appreciated the dub, because it turns out that the music is a lot more fun when you can hear the rhymes and the puns.
It's fucking amazing. But finish what you're saying, Lee.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So to carry on from that was that we would, for anybody who listens through, podcasting apps and the like, you won't obviously know, for about a year, a non-stop year, every single episode of the podcast would be responded with the mysterious Ryan Gates, YouTube user Ryan Gates, who would write the same comment, which is, when are you guys going to do the Aggretsuko Season 2 spoiler cast? And of course, I told him in another year, Ryan. And then it developed into, hey, Ryan, we'll do it when you sign up for the Patreon.
Oh, no.
I think it got mentioned in the Discord that Season 3 has just come out of Aggretsuko. So Netflix has just released Season 3. And it felt like it was time. So I took the bullet to begin with. And I was like, guys, I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for Ryan. Let's put this to bed. Let's get this man in the Discord because now he has to do it. Like, Ryan, you have to. You have to come in. You're a legend. Come on. Gotta come in and celebrate with all of us. We finally, all three of us, have watched Aggretsuko Season 2 from start to finish.
Me and George last night together on a Discord call.
Can you imagine
Intimately.
anything more beautiful
Yeah.
than these two guys watching that show together?
Nothing else is more beautiful.
So, Ryan, pull one out, buddy. The war is over.
Pull
Whip
one
it out.
out.
We have
Pour one
surrendered.
Rub
you have
one
won.
out, Liam says.
Pull one out. The war is won.
Let off some stress. You
We
no
watched
longer
it.
have to worry about it.
Well, we watched it, and I thought it was really good. I was
Yeah.
super surprised how good it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, George is gonna go nuts, man. George is gonna go nuts.
Why am I gonna go nuts?
Oh,
What do you-
please.
Is this because
Okay.
basically we're recording the episode now, but Matt, you heard basically George's podcast comments.
I know
last
what
night.
George is gonna say. George has a lot of George answers, which people are gonna love. I really enjoyed it, actually.
I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, me too. I got some family discussion questions for later, but I guess it would be good to start out by just giving like our general yays and nays. Like I was really surprised by how much I got into it, and also how much there still seems to be able to explore from this series. It's like gradually becoming about the anxieties of modern urban Japanese living, and for Western
Super
viewers, it's
on
still
top,
super
yeah.
relatable. Last season was about work anxieties. This one seemed a lot more personal and intimate. It's about like familial anxieties and personal anxieties. The theme was
Yeah.
whether or not she felt like she was grown up or not.
Well, it was kind of split into two things, right? It was split into she's no longer a new employee; she's a senior, so she had somebody underneath her. Who I do want to talk about the character of Anai a little bit. But so she had a junior. Obviously, we've mentioned this is the spoiler cast. So if you've not watched Aggretsuko, skip to whatever time that George has inevitably miscalculated below.
No, I've never gotten that one wrong.
And then, you'll be free. It's split into her being a senior, which is a big thing in Japan when you become the senpai, and then the idea of getting married. She's an older lady. She's getting on a little bit, time is ticking.
She's 25.
And Japan, she's an older lady.
That's old.
She knows-
Oh my god.
And, marriage and having relationships is the second part of that. It was touched on in the first series. But yeah, it's kind of heavy in this one. So it starts out with the first couple of episodes with her and her new junior that she has to look after, Anai-san.
So Matt reacted almost with familiarity, like he knew that type of character. I reacted with like terrifying anxiety with two big questions. Wait a second, do people actually do that?
Yes.
Secondly, oh god, I hope that's not me.
Yes,
They want it in writing so they can fuck you. They want to fuck you. That's why he's recording. And so I was telling George this, right? And then he was like, "What? Wait, what?" And I was like, "Oh, he's trying to get to her. He's trying to make sure he has proof, and then get it to the boss." And then he goes and turns his phone over to recording, and George was like, "Oh, yes, that guy's an asshole."
That character in general, because of some of the, let's be gentle, the crazies in Japan.
Gentle,
He was horrifying,
He
and
never even unpacked.
dude. The face they make.
Oh God,
my
I wanted to
God.
fucking punch that character so hard.
Me too,
I've dealt
man.
with people of a similar vein to that, like people who are so petty and pedantic in that kind of
Yeah.
way. Not to that extent, but it's definitely like eye-opening when they talk about, he's kind of protecting himself. He obviously doesn't understand what he's doing. He knows he's useless. So, but the fact that he was then doing it to like director Tom, the pig, and stuff like that was like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird.
And one of the things that I really, really liked about this series is how it has those humanizing moments like that, where like you find out that it's coming from a place of fear from him, and how a lot of characters with their one-dimensional quirks like that will end up having an exploration of their more humane side. Like the annoying hippo lady, turns out had a pretty like touching explanation behind why she's so annoying and talkative. I appreciated it and was kind of scared by it, and it kind of felt like watching a PG BoJack almost. Like exploring the issues of very real people through animal characters who otherwise are living in a normal human society.
I gotta say, I keep trying to look up whoever writes the English version because they do such a good job, man.
Yeah,
like there's certain things it's like, okay, this is like Japanese culture, but even the mom pushing the daughter to get married, that happens here too. Not
right.
like
not in the extent where like it's an arranged marriage.
It's different.
Which does still happen in Japan, but not as much as you think.
Yeah, but there's a lot here that is like, it's super like relatable. Like I bet some people wouldn't even know this is like a Japanese show unless they like, I don't know, they paid attention that like, oh, what are these characters? If the characters weren't there, Japanese characters, I'm pretty sure people would be like, oh, okay, they saw it randomly on Netflix. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know at all.
So?
I don't think so.
It's called Aggretsuko. I don't know. There's some moments in this show where you see like an extremely cute panda face just like spending 3 frames tilting back and forth, and it almost looks like a South Park parody of Japanese animation style. I think I will do the dub for season 3 though, because the thing that put me off with the dub when we started watching was hearing people speaking in English about Japanese yen and yakisoba and stuff. But the music, I think, is worth it. I think the dub is, I wouldn't say superior, but it's so, I see. The music did push me over the edge.
No, I'm kind of tempted with season 3 just to watch a bit, because I heard one of the new characters is voiced by ProZD, Sungwon Cho, and
oh, really?
He's amazing, and he's such
I think I heard him already.
Yeah, so I'm kind of tempted to at least check out his character. I probably can guess the type of voice he's doing, but I'm very attached to like Retsuko and Feneko, like what's her name?
Yeah,
the fox girl, and
I can't
Haida's
watch it in anything else.
Voice. Like her, like is irreplaceable, and also like even the hippo.
It sounds funny in English too. The English still does the ha 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 ha.
But even like the hippo lady's like, she sounds like an old woman who is trying to like get up in your business. It's like, it's
it's changed in the English version. It's like very different. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a voice that just,
it's annoying.
Like it's a really soft mom voice, but like annoying. Like
the translation, that like, I just don't understand how you get that right so much. Yeah. I don't understand. Like normally you just watch anime, or you watch many shows that try to translate. It just doesn't. They just don't do it right. This one, they just do it fucking right, man. I mean, the screamo, it's so good.
It's not stiff and wooden like in the old Cowboy Bebops I've been watching. Like they emote, they scream in this dub. Like they laugh, they show a lot more emotion than I'm used to in an anime.
I think that's a part of that, is being able to have characters that are not human, who have faces they pull and mouths that maybe don't match means you can be a lot more expressive and emotive in the voice as well. But yeah, I think as Matt said, like even with the subtitles, there are some things when I see the subtitles and I'm like, that's not what she said. But it's like along the same lines. Like when she's driving the car and getting her driving license, and it's like the first time she gets in and she drives, something in the subtitle says something like vehicle automate or like something really weird.
Wait,
right?
when she screams?
Yeah, but in the Japanese she's just saying
Molecular freedom.
Molecular freedom.
And like in the Japanese she's just saying, this is fun. She's just saying, mecha tanoshii. Like she's just saying, this is really fun.
That's
interesting.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like someone wrote that. They understood the language.
Yeah, I think I like that better than just this is fun.
Agreed.
It's so
good.
There's
wordplay.
It is one of the many parts I cracked up when I was watching with George. Just
like her face when she's driving, she's like
the fun of how much fun there is to be had from the musical segments is something that I had completely missed out on last season.
And I gotta say, they did a good job of transferring it from out of karaoke to just normal.
Yes. So that's
right?
that you hit on something I really liked, which is they didn't have to do it. They did one, and it spoke really well to like her character. Was like there was only one karaoke scene, and it was the one that was the most important one, obviously with Tadano-san, the like, you know, the CEO, and that. And every other time was just her bursting into rage, and it wasn't like you were like, oh yeah, she's just, you know, into heavy metal. It's like it's a part of her, and the way she expresses getting that rage out is to just think about fucking death metal lyrics of how she feels. And yeah, it's good to see it outside of the karaoke booth, and it was handled really well, really, really well.
She's never gonna find love, man. But it was
it was tough.
It was tough. It was tough. Not to say it like that, but like this is so regular. Dating. It is. This happens often. I go through it. Many people go through it. You find someone. It seems like it's great, and then it's not. And I love it. I fucking love it. The first episode, you're like, okay. But then the next couple episodes you get in, you're like, oh shit, like they're doing it again. Season 2 lands again. I'm scared for season 3. There's no way it can land.
That's the thing, and I think George is right. It's kind of like a Japanese BoJack because it's nothing goes right. Like it's real life, not like in the sense like, oh, guys, it's so real, but like it's real life. Like her relationships break down because she has literal anxieties about things going wrong. She wants to get married so badly that gets in the way of a really pretty healthy relationship that she is enjoying. And it's like, it's that real fear, especially in Japan, of being 25, being a woman. And by the time you get to 30, you get nicknamed Baron and stuff like that, right? It's like, they call them Christmas women in Japan or something along those lines.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's super weird. Yeah. And
Christmas?
it's a real societal fear. You know, she works in an office. She's not exactly special, and I think that's what's super important about it, right? She's not special. Like
they show you pretty characters in this one.
Her two friends are like way more successful than her other friend owned her own company, and she has a guy who is super into her in Haida. Obviously we're talking without the context of whatever happens in season 3 at this, but she has a guy who's super into her in Haida, and he'll do anything for her, but she just doesn't want to be with him, or like she doesn't register like that. And that is so real, because like in any typical other piece of media, it would start off negative, and then he'd do loads of nice things, and then she'd be like, oh, aren't you sweet? And then they'd get together. But that just doesn't happen here, and it doesn't even like want to happen. Like like she just doesn't see it because she inevitably has no feelings for him. And I think that is really quite special in how they're able to do these things because you never get your hopes up that things are going to go right. But you also don't feel too sad when they do because you're like, yeah, that happens. Yeah. It's life.
It is life, dude. Things crumble really quickly. And the fact that she was okay with it. She was like, it was fun. And I was just like, you know what? Good for you. Good for fucking you, man.
Like
it shows you that she's grown up a little bit because before she
exactly.
was like,
she has the duality.
She's so wishy-washy throughout like everything. She didn't know if she was gonna get married. She didn't know what she wanted to do for her job. Everything. And then now, like, look at us talking about a fucking cartoon character like this. What the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so Aggretsuko, the red panda, I believe a lot of her personal issues and anxieties we found out are actually coming from a very, very bad relationship with her mother.
That's a very, very atypical Japanese mother-daughter relationship right there, my friend. Very
atypical. Okay, so these are some of the family discussion questions I wanted us to basically ask Liam about.
I am not Japanese, but I will do my best.
How many Japanese parents are still setting their kids up for dates? Is this a thing that still happens? And is that little black leather binder with the photo in it?
Yeah, that kind of thing happens
too.
But I think it's a generation past now. Like I was talking to my partner about this, right? And she was like, when her mum was young, that's what her grandmother did. Honest to God, like had a black book with photos of quite eligible bachelors. And was like, you should go on a date with this one. I want you to go on a date with this one. This one's a doctor. Do this. And that happened like a generation ago. It's crazy. But like it's not other parts of the world where there are arranged marriages. I think in Japan, arranged marriages are still quite high, considering you would classify Japan as a first world country, right? But that's because Japan has this ingrained social pressure about marriage. And like I was joking around with Ran because literally after watching Aggretsuko, we saw an advert for a new TV show in Japan called Speed Marriage for 30 Days or something. And it's literally about two people who've never met each other who live in a house and pretend to be married for 30 days to then see if they want to marry each other after the 30 days.
That kind of sounds like the idea of what you're supposed to do over the course of a year in a normal relationship.
Yeah, a year, 2 years,
or more.
3, 4,
or more. However long it takes you to feel to answer that question.
Yeah, so a lot of it is about marriage, right? And then for people who haven't watched it, who are listening to this anyway, so the latter half of this series is about Retsuko meeting a guy called Tadano, who is like a lazy kind of. He's not like typical Japanese. That's the point.
He made me anxious. Oh yeah, he looks kind of like a Westerner compared to the other characters.
Yeah, and he's very laid back.
Haircut.
But the secret is he turns out to be the CEO of a huge tech company, right? That makes AI, and he's programming AI all day, and then he kind of just he's lethargic to doing other things, right? But he doesn't want to get married, and he doesn't care about marriage
or kids.
He thinks, about everybody should be pursuing their career or like in terms of what they want to do, not having to be slaves to corporate jobs or things that you don't want to be.
The literal quote, late stage capitalism is such a pain. That's why it's got to go.
Yeah. So he wants to, he offers Retsuko like the opportunity to quit her job. And like, he's like, I don't want to get married, but I want to be with you forever. And, she's so into marriage and stuff like that. So I was interested to hear what you guys think, because I think Tadano is good for Japan. He has, I think it's good for Japanese people to watch something like that and be like, oh yeah, he has an unhealthy work life still.
Yeah.
But his attitude in regards to like some of the Japan typical societal issues, he doesn't give a fuck. And those type of characters don't really exist in Japanese media. at the moment.
It made me anxious.
Why?
As these shows are meant to be so relatable, I get terrified sometimes with the stuff I see in myself. And you know, the whole bit about him being a lazy slacker, I'm pretty darn sure that I projected a lot of anger onto that because of shame I feel about my own work habits. I don't know if me and Tadano would get along.
But he's not lazy. And I think that's part of the core thing about the series is he's not lazy. He works all of the time. Yeah, and he drives around pitching his like company to successful businesses across Japan every day. He's in a car working nonstop. But his attitude is one that Japanese people don't really have, which is laid back. He's kind of chill. He doesn't really care if things go wrong, and he's like, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
I just kind of feel bad about the DMV workers whose time he was wasting.
But he was paying them. He's paying them money. I mean...
But he didn't take any of it seriously.
What do you mean?
But does that matter?
Why did he bother starting then if he wasn't going to take it seriously and wasn't invested in getting his driver's license?
Well, in the end, he had a good reason, right? His reason was that he didn't want his driver to have to pretend to be driving him because it was illegal for AI cars in Japan to be working. So, yeah, it's far-fetched.
Wait, no, that would have been a good reason for him to complete. I don't think he had a good reason to slack off and not get his driver's license.
No, he just couldn't do it, is what he said. He couldn't apply himself. But I think that's kind of interesting because he spent a lot of time trying, but he couldn't get over that hump of doing, even though he's obviously super smart, right?
So this is related to another family discussion question that's really a Liam discussion question. Can you actually put the fact that you have your driver's license on your resume in Japan?
Yes. You can do it in the UK as well.
Is that how difficult and how long and how special of an accomplishment it is?
You do it in the UK as well. Like, I have full clean driving license is usually something you would put on your CV resume in the UK. Definitely when I was first applying for jobs, it was something you should do because maybe some of the jobs you are applying for means that if you have a car, you're going to be advantageous. Or if you have the ability to drive, you're going to have in Japan, there is definitely a case. There are a lot of jobs where it's advantageous to have a license for sure. Because
that
not many
struck
people
me
drive.
and Matt is so weird.
Really? I'm surprised. Is it just everybody in America drives, so it's not that special?
It's extremely easy. It's a rite of passage. It's like voting for the first time. When you turn 16, it's expected that you get your license. And I feel like that might have been something that was weirdly lost in translation, was that she felt some anxiety over not having her driver's license at 25, whereas to an American viewer, that sounds like an incredible failure.
And I
don't want to sound too judgmental, but it's not... I don't want to say it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal. You turned 16, but you're still a kid. A child
how long
is something who's able to do that.
In the States?
Like a week. Just, I remember spending about a week and a half learning how to drive. Then you get a learner's permit where you drive for a whole year when you're 15, as long as you have your parent in the car with you. And then when you're 16, you show up, do the test for an hour. They have you drive kind of around the block of the DMV, then do a 3-point turn to park in the DMV parking lot. And that's it.
This is why in Japan, Americans have to take the test. Whereas British license holders don't have to. All we have to do is get our license translated, and then we get a license without taking a test in Japan.
Because the test is harder in Britain?
Because the test is harder in the UK. You have to have lessons, then you have to pass a theory test like you do in Japan, and then you have to pass a practical test.
Theory test? It's fucking driving.
A theory test,
There's also the blood and gore slideshow they make them watch. They don't make you do that in the States either.
They don't make you do that in the UK. That was surprising.
Yeah.
But no, a theory test is like all the road signs, like what do you do in these situations? It's like, and that you have to pass that before you're allowed your provisional license. And once you pass that, you can get your provisional license. God. And with the provisional license, you can then start learning to practical drive. And then you have to be in a car with an instructor or a parent under a certain like sticker on your car. And then only when the instructor thinks you're ready to take the test, only the instructor can book the test for you in most cases. You have to have like a guarantor. You can book the test by yourself, but I think it's a bit tougher. I can't remember if it's changed. And then it's a point system, right? And you start with full points and then you go down. Same in Japan. Like for every bad mistake you do, you get minus points. And then there's a threshold in which you have to get over. First time, I failed. And I thought I'd passed. I thought I did really well. Second time I took my test, I was moving to university and I was super stressed. And then I had the flu and I felt super sick. I went and took the test because it was booked anyway. I did terribly. I thought the woman was talking to me the whole time. And I thought, well, I'm just going to drive. It's fine. And then I passed. And I couldn't believe it because I was fucking so sick. I was like, how the hell did I do that? That was like a mirage. I have no idea what just happened.
Wow.
So yeah, in the UK, yeah, it's a bit more extensive for sure. Can't just turn up at the DMV and be like, hey, bros, can I have a license?
There were a couple quotes that had me and Matt like on the actual floor laughing, and one of them happened in the driver's license test when they were showing the blood and gore pictures from the car wrecks, and it's like, even if your life will never be the same, even if you live. I wonder what the original Japanese was for that one, but in English, that is the funniest shit.
Yeah,
I think I think it's maybe referring to the shame of crashing and causing accidents like that. That can be big news when that happens in Japan. So yeah, maybe it's just that you get that black
big
mark
news?
on you. Can do. I mean, what do you think Japanese news consists of? It's not crime.
Oh my god, the US is so fucked compared to everywhere
Oh,
else,
dude,
man.
yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But
The local news is just a bunch
death,
of just death.
drugs, murder.
Oh, you ever read the comments on the local news too?
No. Oh, you mean
local
on YouTube?
News comments? No, like on your local news website. I don't know what your city
no,
and
I do not know.
KLA Matt. Yeah, if you check the comments on that website, I'm sure you'll see like public calls for executions, calling the criminals animals, and the profile picture will be like a 40-year-old dad with a business
Sunglasses.
and 4 kids,
And he'll definitely have sunglasses on.
It's like 4chan style hatred, but coming from like people you'd think would have a little bit more sympathy and humanity in their hearts, rather than, yeah, it's like
Okay.
the local news comments are 4chan for dad.
ABC7 is our local news, and the site's broken.
Let's not read the comments on ABC7's latest stories about petty criminals.
So there's one thing I wanted to go back on and reverse a little bit. So we have the different themes, and it's a lot about Japan's society, but I think one of them that stands out, of course, is the marriage one that, everybody has opinions on or thoughts of and that kind of thing. And there's something, Washimi, the bird lady, says, like where she, drops the bomb that she once was married and it lasted like 4 months. And then, she's learned that it was a great lesson in life. And I think we've all had relationships like that. I wanted to ask Matt specifically about this because Matt has hundreds times more experience than me and George in regards to this. As somebody who is in that kind of same situation.
Well seasoned.
Yeah. I wanted to ask when you heard that and how you feel about that now in terms of like watching her panic about.
George saw my reaction. Oh, well, he heard my reaction. Yeah, I was like, oh, she's not wrong. Like, I understand where she's coming from. She's coming from a place of hurt. And she didn't allow herself to get into another relationship again. And I think she's holding on to that. You can't just shut yourself out, man. You can't just shut yourself out because then you're just not going to find something good. Because not everyone is going to let you down, or, you're going to learn some stuff about yourself. Yes, you're going to progress. You're supposed to become a better person. You're supposed to every year, right? You're supposed to self-reflect.
I don't know about this year.
Yeah, you're supposed to. And then, but what she's done is that she just doesn't trust anybody. Liam is looking up to God.
I'm wondering why my fan is making so much noise, but I'm super intrigued by the fact that like Aggretsuko's so obsessed with marriage, right? But doesn't understand it and doesn't understand why she wants it. She only wants it because, I mean, in the first series, she had, I think, what every Japanese woman who works in a corporate life, which was, I'm going to be a housewife and my life will be easier because I don't have to turn up to my job every day. That isn't a completely valid reason in Japan and happens all the time.
That's so awful.
It's terrible. It is fucking terrible.
It's awful.
But
yeah.
the kind of thing that she's obsessed with and she wants to have it so badly but doesn't quite understand it. Do you watch her and you're like, poor child, you just don't understand yet?
Yeah, I mean, she's understanding now, but and that's why I was saying, like, the first thing I said after me and George finished is like, that's why you date kids. That's why you date. Like, she hasn't experienced anything yet. That's why she thinks that way. So like childlike. All she's done nothing. She's like 25 years old. She needs to fucking get out there so she knows what she wants. You know, guys too. Guys is the same way.
We had an interesting exchange. I think Anai said something along the lines of, marriage is just a piece of paper. And I think Matt was like shaking his head, yes, you don't need a piece of paper to
I do.
To be committed to loving someone for their whole life. Whereas I was like, but wait, think of the kids. That piece of paper, I get it, but I feel like the marriage contract still exists partially for the protection of any kids that get involved.
But see, that whole thinking in general is bad. That's the whole thinking is negative. Like, it's protection for the kids from what?
From the parents fucking each other up in the divorce proceedings and then fucking the kids' lives up in the process.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all negative. You're getting married only because you, just in case you fuck over each other. Like, that's so fucking weird.
It reminds me of the Blink-182 song, Stay Together for the Kids.
Stay together, yeah. Like, it's like that whole, it sucks. It's like, not to say I would never get married again, but like, it's just one of those things where I don't want someone staying with me because we have a piece of paper and it's a lot of energy just to sign that piece of paper so we can go in front of a judge and get it straightened out. I don't want someone staying for me for that. I want someone staying for me for me. I want a paper holding them back, and vice versa. And that's how the way I think. You know what I'm saying? And if that doesn't exist, if that type of love doesn't exist, then hey, listen, man, single life ain't that bad.
I don't disagree with anything.
I can tell that room you're in has seen some.
Hey.
That California life you're living in, my friend.
I don't disagree with anything you just said so much as I still have horrible images in my head of like how shitty some parents can be to their kids and how much more like informal and fucked up it would be if those kids didn't have any kind of legal protection in society from one parent, let's say, I don't know, murdering the other parent and then taking all the assets away. It's extreme, it's exaggerated, but it happens sometimes. And there's still some sort of layer of social safety net for the kids in that case that comes from.
Don't they have some type of laws for kids? Like when you have a baby daddy, like there's something that connects them. Like you still gotta, something still happens.
Yeah, child support,
all sorts of things. There's no way. Like if you live with someone for a certain amount of time, I think.
I mean, in Japan, Japan is quite archaic in these things, right? Like if you have kids with somebody and you break up, in the eyes of Japanese law, regardless of where you're married or you're not, you're divorced or whatever, the mother of the children has custody automatically, unless you can absolutely 100% prove that they are unfit to be the custodian.
Mm.
And you can read a lot of stories about foreigners who have children with Japanese partners. I mean, obviously we're talking about mothers, so, females. They don't get to see their kids. Like the wife will just up and leave and then go live with her parents in the mountains or something, won't contact them, won't talk to them or anything.
Jesus.
Dude won't be able to see his kids. And there's nothing they can do because in the eyes of the law, the mother has full rights of custody. And it can be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Some of the stories about it. So even with legal laws in that regard, in this country, that doesn't really matter. I also have, I've been in 2 long relationships, and, there are times where it's like, I want to get married. Then I don't. And, in Japan, it would benefit me greatly to get married. Like, I could live here forever and do what I want.
Oh yeah, you get citizenship that way, right?
Yeah, but it's just the wrong reason to do so. The only reason really should ever be love, right? But even then, if you are in, and this is kind of why I think Tadano has some form of good thinking that is being progressive in Japanese society, is that if you truly love someone, want to be with them, I don't think you have to get married if you don't want to.
Mm.
And that's something you have to discuss with your partner, because in the instance of Tadano and Aggretsuko, I feel sorry for both of them because it just couldn't pan out in the way that they wanted, because one would always be giving up for the other.
I don't feel bad too much for that relationship because there's like one line he says. He says something about like, how do you know that 2 people can love each other forever? He says that. He says that in the karaoke booth. And I'm like, dude, I thought you said you wanted to be with her forever. You don't say that line right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I didn't feel bad after that. I was like, all right, well, you said that and you don't want to get married? Nah, buddy. You can hit the curve, man.
How the hell has he gone all the way through life never meeting like a happy old couple, Like a lot of those examples of really long-lasting, lifelong marriage relationships, I feel like I've seen a ton of them throughout my family, throughout my life. I don't want to say it's the default normal, but
yeah, but I've got to admit you're a product of your environment, and anybody who is our age, I'm going to say like 35 to 18 right now, has been dating and living in an era of internet.
I was like 35 to what?
Like you know what 18. I mean? Like
yeah.
I feel like that pinnacle,
Yeah.
has seen that, like in this day and age, getting married and having kids in a house and stuff like that that's something that is something you have to sacrifice for, right? You've got to sacrifice your career in a lot of instances, especially if you're the female, like traditionally. And a lot of people just don't want to go for that. And we live in an era where there are dating apps and all this kind of stuff. It's being a product of your environment and saying like old couples, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, their environment was very different.
And people are getting married less for that very reason.
And it's also the West and not Japan. And Liam, please feel free to correct me for stereotyping, but isn't the stereotypical Japanese marriage something that typically gets pretty miserable in one's later years? I think you have told me as much. Like old Japanese couples, for some reason, are stereotyped as miserable and not loving each other after that many years.
It's well known that in Japan, marriage can be not something built on love. It's built on business,
and that
status,
might be where some of this is coming from him, actually.
And that kind of thing doesn't last, because it never will.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings are not programmed like that, right? And it's quite well known in Japan, when women have children, they tend to be completely disinterested in the intimate side of this is all like typical stereotypes in Japan, but it's not unfounded. And these are things that generally do happen. And I actually have a case of somebody I know where this kind of thing did happen to him. Once you have children, like that's it. The baby becomes the entire world and life for, the wife or the female. And they become disinterested in things that keep healthy relationships going, which is physical intimacy and going on dates and sleeping even in the same bed and more traditional stuff to do with keeping a healthy relationship going. Like, and that deteriorates, right? And most often or not deteriorates into passive aggressive nature that then descends into, no desire to be around each other, and they tend to stay together for the kids, like that. And that is not great, I don't think.
Yo, listen, my rent's cheap. All right, I got things going on. I pay for myself. I mean, it sounds very lonely, let me tell you, but I don't want that. God, I don't want that, man.
Yeah,
that scares me a lot. It does.
Like,
it does. And I think humans, they want companionship. I want companionship myself. I don't like search for it, like need it in my life right now. I feel like it. Yeah.
There is certainly something to be said about that. And I think one thing that I personally, my own personal growth as a human since my previous relationship before my current girlfriend, which, we've now been together almost 3 years. And, she's amazing. She's my best friend and everything. But the prior relationships of that, when we started this podcast and we talked about it, that was really bad, right? Like, you guys know, like, that was really bad. And the one thing that I learned from that in terms of like being on my own and at wanting that companionship and stuff like that is, and this is going to sound cheesy, and everybody listening, please believe me on this, it's about being happy with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you really truly can give to another person what they need out of you until you are able to do it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I am like, I could go weeks without meeting anybody because I am quite content. And this is not introverted because I'm pretty much an extrovert.
Right.
I can be quite happy because I know what makes me happy. I know what I want out of a relationship is the things that I give to myself. So I already know what type of relationship is going to work for me because I know the small things that will make me happy, the things that pick me up, and how to sort of cheer myself up. And it is kind of about loving yourself first. It's worked for me. I don't know if it works for everybody, but that really helps put into perspective what you need to do in a relationship and how also it can be a successful one. Yeah, like I've honestly just learned to have self-respect for myself, to say no to things I don't want to do, because I wouldn't put a partner through things they don't want to do. Why should I put myself through things I don't want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And learning to treat yourself, look after yourself, really like just be like treating the best friend you ever have, which is like yourself. The person you have to deal with 24/7 is going to make that person happy. And the byproduct of that is you are going to be happy. And that is like wishy-washy, but yeah.
It's absolutely true, though. Like, I felt it myself. Like, after the bike trip, I was a charismatic, suave bastard and was dating all the time. And then, like a past year, I don't know if I want to talk about it, but it absolutely correlates with how much self-esteem I have at the time. It's like, how attractive do I think I am is how hard I'm going to try to attract other people, but I also don't know in terms of how I've spent my time in my life over the past year. I don't know if I can keep as much small talk going compared to previous years. Like, it has a lot to do with whether or not you would date you is what can give you the confidence to start dating other people. And it takes months of getting your shit together to reach that point for me. And it goes up and down throughout the years dramatically.
It's 100% right. It's like your self-confidence skyrockets and you're like, I can do anything. I can take on anything and I can be interesting to anybody and that kind of thing. And if you can learn to keep that going, it's not about that spark, that time when you're feeling it. It's about, consistently picking yourself up, understanding what you like, what you don't like, and helping yourself. Like, today I feel a bit off my game. I'm going to go for a walk to my favorite place and I'm going to get like a coffee and I'm just going to do something that I know will make me happy, that I'm getting myself back on the game. The way you would treat any partner when they're when they're down and they're sad is what I was trying to say. You got to do it for yourself. And that kind of is a byproduct of then leading into a good relationship, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you're struggling with yourself, how much brain space can you dedicate
someone else?
To someone else?
The phrase
the
"How can you
line.
love someone else if you can't love you?" is like so fucking true. Because then you get distracted from loving someone else because you got more shit of your own problems to deal with.
Exactly. So yeah, to go back to Aggretsuko, like that's how good this series was, I think.
Yeah.
And sure, there's one thing I wanted to bring up. I really appreciate 15-minute anime episodes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
We're
yes.
talking about how fast it is, and how like I wish more anime was like this.
Please, God.
I really, really appreciate it. That anime is so well paced. Like
it's such a different vibe.
It gives you everything you need.
Like the English dubbers are like loud and laughing, and the episodes are over in 15 minutes. The whole season is over in 2.5 hours.
It's
there's
so
no
good.
static images you're just staring at. There's a lot of like animation like maturity in it. I'm very impressed. Ryan, sorry it took this long, Ryan.
I can't believe they make food look good in this style. Like as simple.
That's Japanese food in general.
Even when the shapes are like extremely simple, like flash looking thick lines of all vector trace stuff with solid colors and not a lot of grit and texture, the food still made me hungry. How do they do it? How do they
It did make me pine. I've missed this Japanese summer. I've missed going to like Matsuri festivals and eating food stall stuff. I haven't done that since New Year's Eve last year. It did make me reminisce and be like, damn, Japan is such a great social place.
Yeah, I love the festivals. They're so cute. And I guess like we saw in this season, it's such like a great way to get the community together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, another thing about that is, he asks for them to do it on a weekend, which is so typical. And, it's like fun, but it's mandatory. And nothing is fun when it's mandatory. Now, is there anything else from it that you can impart your wisdom on? We know you got those pockets of wisdom in there, my friend. Come on.
We always talk. It's finally we talk about something that like is something I would talk about off podcast. Like something I would sit in a corner of a party and talk about. Like this is the first time we haven't talked about a Matt subject in a while. Dude. I was hungry. So this felt good. I'm not gonna lie. To talk about something real, and nothing like a fucking anime, a good translated anime to get us talking about fucking life. Oh my god. No, we can move on to some games.
Well, it's only going to take us another 2 years to watch season 3, so plenty of time, Matt.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, I think I'll dip into it quickly.
I'm gonna finish it probably by the end of this week. I'm on a let's go high. I want to watch more.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I've been playing Wasteland 3. Just gonna jump right into it.
I was tempted because it's on Game Pass, but I was like, Crusader Kings is coming out, and that's what I want to be playing. So, or at least
good
try
ass games this week on Game Pass.
Game Pass, man. Holy shit. We go back to the conversation we had last week about Xbox, and it's like, damn, why would you buy anything else? Matt, tell us.
$5. It's $5, dude. All right. So I decided to pick this up because, it was, I played all the Fallout games. Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. Let's not talk about 4. And
76.
New Vegas. 76. Oh god.
76 is also on Game Pass, and I looked and I was like,
nope. Not even worth free. Not even worth free. Yeah, that's oof. Yeah, I value my time, George. I value my time, and 76.
Why the George?
It's you said ooh. So if we get a group going, I'll play, but not by myself. That's just a no for me.
Even
that's
with
too much
group,
to download.
No
Crusader Kings is 5 gigs. 5 gigs. I'm down. I already have that downloaded. It's 5 gigs. Freaking simulator was like 150 for that. That's bullshit, man. Yeah. Well, I
You
guess
could have 100 Crusader Kings.
100 Crusader
No,
Kings.
wait. No, you could have...
100
I
Crusader
can't do
Kings.
math.
But
What
Wasteland
is 100
3,
divided by 4? 25. You can have 25 Crusader Kings.
but I saw it on Game Pass, and I was like, I've always saw the preview on Game Pass, but I never downloaded it, never gave it a try, and I didn't know how, like, was this gonna be goofy? I didn't know what it was, so I gave it a try. It's like Fallout 2, the old school Fallout 2, but branched out of it and goofy as fuck. Like, and there's voice acting everywhere in everything. There's a surprising amount of like I don't know, like depth to this. Like it's
been getting good reviews.
Yeah, the world is good. The world is satisfying to explore in, and the combat is actually not bad. You got the of course the Overwatch feature, right? So which is ambush in this one when you're fighting. So it's kind of like XCOM. You have regular, you have your sniper, your assault rifles, your pistols. Everything is kind of in its own category. You can kind of level up each one. And it tells you exactly what skills do, exactly what your points are going into. It's very self-explanatory almost. It's satisfying to play. It's satisfying to play the combat, and it's satisfying to talk to just random strangers because they always have something weird to say or something goofy. There's always something interesting there. Like even the shopkeepers have something interesting to say. Like it's good, and it's I've been to like 3 areas, and it's always the same. It's consistent, And like they keep tossing out, like as soon as you go into open world, they give you 2 options. Like, oh, you either save this person, and this person is not just like some random distress call that you have. It has something to do with like something that just happened, an enemy that just killed someone that you may have known, and then like you have like this other person that has like power armor was like thrown into that distress call. Like, wait, power armor? What is it? Save a family or power armor? You're like, there's a lot of little things. Yeah. Like you just don't know what you're gonna get, but you only can pick one. There's a lot of interesting things. I gotta say, I am enjoying it. I'm probably gonna finish that game. Then I'll move on to Crusader Kings.
So I'm tempted. The only thing that's put me off Wasteland, I will admit, I'm not it looks just blue, like that snowy.
There's colors.
Yeah, like all the environments look very samey, and like blue and gray and snow everywhere.
No, there's colors. There's colors.
There's additional colors.
There's actually colors. I look up. Sometimes I put like Wasteland 3 review, and sometimes the ACG pops up.
I did. That's the one I watched,
and then I watch it, and then you skip
he loved
through
it, right?
Yeah, you skip through it, and you see like oh yeah, this is colorful, and I'm like, oh thank God. I don't like just greens and blues. Just gets kind of boring after a while. But yeah, there's colors in like the cities and stuff like that. It depends on where you go. But I think a certain city does have a certain look. But like the place I'm at, colors everywhere, neon lights and shit like that. And that's like the second area you go to.
I am very tempted. And it's tactics. It's like tactics. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not usually into it. I'm
so into tactics.
You're so into it, right? Like
the older you get, the more turn-based gets fun over real time.
It's very appealing. It's so appealing.
Oh my God.
I was looking at like footage of the Avengers that comes out at the end of this week, and I was like, looks good. But Crusader Kings allows me to pause the game and make my decisions.
Oh my God.
I'm going to play that, I think.
I didn't know it had a story mode. I thought it was just some type of like multiplayer co-op thing.
It is, but it has like kind of like Destiny, but a bit more fleshed out, like a full-on story about Miss Marvel or whatever her name is. And then that's when you can play missions like that because it's a games as a service, right? It's a games as a service game. And then
what?
Yeah. Like it's like Destiny or Diablo or something, I think. And you replay missions and you get loot and etc. etc.
Huh. Okay.
But it's funny because the beta impressions for the game were not great, to say the least.
Right.
But then people have been playing it now because it's out like for early pre-order adapters, and like the review, a couple of early impressions coming through saying, holy shit, the beta did this game no favors because the actual game itself is pretty tight. So yeah, I don't know. Seems interesting, but there's a lot of games coming out at the moment. And Game Pass offering free games like Wasteland 3 and Crusader Kings 3.
Yeah,
it's pretty
so much to
cool.
play right now, man. Thank God. Jeez, man.
I've started playing Crusader Kings 3 today, and I'm like, this is an adventure I've never been on before. I've never played these types of games before, but I'm having a blast so far, 3 hours in. But next week, we'll see if that changes.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pick that up in a couple days, so we both will be on that topic.
I'm very intrigued to see how many sons I can kill of my own.
Oh, wow.
Oh, literal sons, too, in that case, because isn't that what you do in that game?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I already got a son killed, so that was a mistake.
Man,
that's terrible.
Rich people just can't even get along with their own families. Anyways.
I know, right? Always trying to forge alliances that always go wrong inevitably. What's the point? We got one game in. We're still technically a video game podcast. We got one game in.
Speaking of incorporating your family members into alliances that might have been mistakes.
Segue.
Jesus.
Segue and a half.
Yeah. I'm actually, I feel like you're a little ballsy for putting this one on the docket, Liam. We're going to talk about Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Elite Squad is what it's called.
What the hell is that?
It's a mobile game. No wonder everybody who was like, hang on a second, a new Tom Clancy's game? No, it's a mobile game. That's why you've never heard of it.
They pissed off everybody with this one. This reminds me a lot of that Blizzard Diablo mobile game annouement.
No.
They didn't have
this is very different. Let's not put those two in the category. It's not. Newsflash: it's not because it's a mobile game people are angry. That is nothing to do with why. It's just the premise of what the game is.
The premise of what the game is that a terrorist organization called Umbra is taking advantage of the social unrest of protests. Their emblem is something extremely freaking close to the actual Black Lives Matter logo.
Well, no, it's the raised black fist.
What? Yeah, that's one of a couple reasons.
They used the black fist for the bad guys.
Oh, no. Where's Tom Clancy's son right now? Where is he? Is he listening? Tom Clancy. What was it? What's his Thomas? Is his name Thomas? Thomas, what are you doing?
His name's also Tom Clancy.
And he's dead. So it's more Ubisoft we're talking about now.
He's dead?
Tom Clancy's dead, yeah. He's been dead for a while.
No, I didn't know that.
I think he's been dead for like 10 years.
I feel so sad now. I'm so sad now.
Point being, a new Ubisoft game.
Oh, no.
That a video came out for, and people were like, hey, what the fuck? Bad guys that were meant to be military taking out. So obviously, as Rainbow Six, you'd be taking out this populist uprising. These terrorists who are...
Yeah, the terrorists are the populist uprisers this time.
Who use the symbol of a, raised black fist. Didn't go down so well. Additionally, there were little other details about this story that make this nugget even juicier.
The director of this game and the manager of the studio behind it is Charlie Guillemot, the son of Yves Guillemot, who is the Ubisoft CEO. So in addition to playing it real fast and loose and slopshod with current events, there's also a bit of nepotism going on involved.
Matt, the guy who's running the studio is the CEO of Ubisoft's son, right? And get this, he graduated university in 2013. He became the head of a studio in 2013.
Things that make you go,
Things that make you go,
my
nepotism.
God.
And the tone of this trailer is so like cartoonishly evil almost that I am legit half expecting for the game to come out and there to be a plot twist to find out that you're working for the bad guys all along. With the way that the announcer has this sinister scowl behind him, the way you see these protests in like a big evil command center room broadcasted on multiple monitors, with the announcer describing populist uprising and terrorism in the same sense, it strikes me as very much the first half of Deus Ex. I don't want to call it or anything, but the vibe just seems so off. Like, how can anyone watching this think that you're the good guys? You know? I guess. Okay. Disclaimer though, when I was a kid and playing Deus Ex for the first time, they got me. I thought UNATCO was the good guys. So the problem here, I guess, is the kids playing that who don't know better are gonna think that they're not gonna know.
It's just like, read the fucking room, Ubisoft. One, nobody really is that into you at this moment in time. You have been accused of incredible negligence inside of your company to do with power harassment, sexual harassment, racism, etc. To then be like, I know, let's have the CEO's Son Studio release a trailer for a game that's very similar to things that are happening, but, and this is the juicy spin on it, the good guys are the bad guys.
So it turns out that in this game where you're shooting the Black Lives Matter protesters.
Yeah, you're shooting the Black Lives Matter protesters, essentially. Good on you. Ubisoft. My God. Come on.
But games aren't political, right, guys?
Oh my God, dude.
I just want to be the Avengers and I just want to save the day.
It's so tricky when dealing with Tom Clancy's stuff. Like, what especially kills me about this is that it's like an Overwatch style, all the heroes are getting together sort of game. So they have a lot of characters from Rainbow Six Siege in there alongside Sam Fisher.
I could throw all the way back to our Ghost of Tsushima talk from a couple of weeks ago. Like, I don't get the double standards in gaming in America in the sense that the US Army had a Twitch account. War is bad. Let's ban and spam US Army account. But new Call of Duty trailer comes out. Oh, this game look fun. It's like, hey.
Oh God, that one is so nasty too.
Double standards. It's like today, this is a side tangent of news that while I was asleep last night broke. It seems that GameSpot had a deal with the National Guard, whatever that is in America, and was like, let's find out from National Guard Lieutenant blah, 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 man, what his favorite games are from Gamescom. And everyone's like, GameSpot, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, hey, weren't all of you just talking about Call of Duty last week after it was announced? Like,
man,
come on.
You want to know something fun about America, Liam?
Is there anything?
When you get your driver's license, you are pressured into signing up for the selective service of the National Guard.
Oh my gosh. You're all going to end up being enlisted at some point in some dumb war in like North Korea.
Yeah. The National Guard is the branch that's supposed to defend the country in the case of invasion. But you know, the best defense is a good offense. It's a preemptive strike is what I'm sure.
Trying to hire all those pro gamers. Get Ninja on it. Get Ninja to be the spokesperson. You know, he does anything for money.
People who have also played Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands have apparently noticed that both the villain and the hero are fighting side by side against the protesters in a elite squad.
I can't believe that.
Games are fun. Call of Duty games are fun, but it's the fetishization. The fetishization? Come on, George. You pronounce good words.
Fetishization.
There you go. Of war.
Fetishization. I know how to say
in America. That is the problem.
The thing that really like makes me feel bad about myself and breaks my confidence and makes it so much harder to date is that this is a reminder that video games are like so fucking immature half the time. Like that was embarrassing to watch while knowing that I am into this hobby. Like that made me ashamed. Ah!
And this is the first thing people attach themselves to. Like, oh, you play video games? Oh, you heard about that stupid insensitive shit that happened? I was like, yeah, I heard that. It's not everyone.
And then you just shrivel down and you don't want to, your body language changes.
It's like, all right, let me show you snipper clips real quick. Let me just show you snipper clips. Let's give me a second. Let me show you snipper clips.
Let me
I
show
swear
you
to God, you like video
Spiritfarer.
games.
Yeah.
When your girl wants to play Elite Squad, but you just want to play snipper clips.
Like, it's like when we used to say, like, oh, you work in video games. Yeah, what, do you work on Call of Duty? No.
It seems like such a different vibe than in the 90s and the turn of the millenniums, where it was associated with like smart nerds. And now video games are associated with like dumb kids.
No, with fucking dorky nerds. Games have taken a step in immaturity, which is crazy. More positive news. Oh, well, no, the next news story is positive. It's a consumer.
Technically counts.
It's a consumer win.
I'm surprised this hasn't been a thing earlier, to be honest.
Get that money. Get that money.
Nintendo is now allowing cancellations for digital game pre-orders in Japan.
That is a good thing. Yeah, you had to pre-purchase. You know, you have to do it on the PlayStation Store as well, right?
I don't know because I don't pre-order video games.
Well, I do. Only if it's gonna reap some sort of benefit. Like, the only reason I pre-purchase games digitally, because I buy everything digitally now, I will admit. I think the last physical game I bought was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Honestly, that's the last one I remember buying. But I do pre-purchase a lot of things if I can pre-install them. And that is a big thing for me. But I would like the leeway time of being like, I'm going to spend $60 on Microsoft Simulator and then pre-purchase it and then be like, maybe this is not a good idea. And being able to revert that decision would be nice.
I'm surprised this hasn't been a thing earlier because when you pre-order a game, you're not getting like a physical product subtracted from the value of the seller's inventory at that time. It seems like the stakes would be way, way lower and they'd be more happy to refund your purchase than if you bought a physical thing that exists in a product that's already released.
I think it's because I don't think they're going to see any dips in actual pre-purchases down to cancellations. I don't think that's going to happen. But the good favor this puts you in and the good press is like pretty grand, right? It
seems, I don't know, I'm getting the vibe of like too little, too late. But you know, I'm more critical about this stuff than you are. So
yeah, but it now exists, right? Even if it is late, at least it now exists.
So it technically counts as progress. It's like voting for Joe Biden.
Oh my God.
At least the opposition exists now. It technically counts as progress.
And please, for the love of God, vote Joe Biden. Americans, please.
You know what's going to happen.
Don't say it, Matt. Don't you evoke it. Don't you make the
it's
prediction.
It's not going to be my fault. It's not.
Speaking of the inevitable, we got some questions, George.
It's 2020. It only gets worse.
Matt, I swear, Matt.
And what will happen is it will be, because it's in November, and January 2021 will be when the next president is sworn in. It will be the icing on the cherry
It's
top.
still in that window of 2020 where everything shitty happens.
Speaking of, fucking hell. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Jesus Christ.
My God, man. The guy's a gangster, first of all. Guy's a gangster. Cancer?
Wow.
Cancer, dude? Made movies? Between chemo? Come on, man. What a fucking legend.
And he was in like incredible shape.
Incredible shape. You don't have no excuse. Man was on chemo.
That guy who interviewed him was posting on Twitter and like, yeah, I asked him this in 2017. It was like, oh man, you must be, losing and bulking up and losing and bulking up. Must be tough on your body. And he's like, you have no idea. One day I will tell the story if I live to tell the story or something like that. And very poignant. That's fuck, man. That is a fucking kicker. What a great actor. He did more than 4 years with cancer than most of us will ever do.
He left a mark on the world.
He did. He definitely did. And 2020 can go fuck itself.
Yep.
But do you know who can't fuck themselves, George?
Mm.
Wonderful people who give us questions.
If you would like to give us questions, then send them in to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com.
Wait, they can fuck
and
themselves?
/or suggest them. and
In our
/or
wonderful Discord.
suggest them in our wonderful Discord listener questions channel. Eric B has our first question for the week. They say, in episode 132 weeks back, a listener asked you about which games you would want to give to your future potential sons or daughters, a topic which I think could be discussed further, since the answers you gave were about your early video game memories. I'm concerned that my future kids will unavoidably stumble into the swamp of crappy mobile games unless I actively steer them away from those. What games would you want to show to your 4-year-old kid? Say, behold, young one, this is a video game.
You know how Super Mario Odyssey, right? Like how we play Super Mario Odyssey and we're like, oh, yeah, this is a good game. Well, at least I was like, oh, it's a good game. But like 64 was like, whoa,
Don't you rewrite history. I was the only one who liked Odyssey, and you two fucking gave me hell about it.
At 64. 64 was...
Odyssey's fine, I guess.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Bastards.
Like, but the young kids who played Odyssey are like, whoa, fucking Odyssey. It's like amazing. So I'm wondering,
It's a
like,
good game.
if I find a good game that all the kids like, maybe I should show them instead of like saying like, oh, you should play Super Mario World, because that's what I would want to share. Like, this is what Daddy grew up with.
So what you're going to say is you're going to show your kid Valorant and how good you're at Valorant and be like, this is a video game and Daddy's really good at that.
I'm in a fucking bronze club, okay? Fucking bronze club. Something about streaming and playing a shooter is just absolute garbage. Like, I can't do it.
I really enjoy Hunt Showdown and Rainbow Six Siege on stream. Like shooters that have downtime for you to glance at the chat, and or shooters that have downtime so after your cool shooter moments you can look at the chat. I've tried playing faster games and I couldn't do it. That's the whole point, isn't it? You're broadcasting to an audience.
Broadcasting that skill.
Yeah. I actually I actually play better at Hunt Showdown when I'm streaming it. My highest skills, my highest kill streaks, my highest KD ratios have happened on stream. I think something about the pressure gets me trying harder in that game in particular, and it's the weirdest thing. Yeah, I had server wiped. I did a 12-person kill streak on a stream in Hunt Showdown, and that's the only time I managed to pull that off in that game.
Must have been on Adderall.
He's got an aimbot. We both know it.
Yeah.
No, it's just when I'm alone, I fuck around, and I don't want to make people think that I'm a bad player on stream.
Web gave you an aimbot. It would be Web.
No, I'm just good at that game. That's all.
I definitely do when I'm playing. I don't play shooters on stream because I don't play shooters that often because I'm terrible at them. But I definitely do think about games through more because you tend to read for the stream, or you tend to read the text and not glance over it. Whereas when I'm playing a game by myself, I'm like, text? That never got read. Yeah. I'm playing Crusader Kings now, and I'm like, I have to teach myself.
This is fascinating.
To read it.
Because I do
read it and understand it.
When I was streaming Troy Total War, I was doing worse than I was by myself, because that's the kind of game where I want to think through my next move for like 10 good minutes.
Yeah.
And the pressure of having to go faster on the stream.
No, I feel like those games lend themselves to you explaining. I would want to listen to you think, because obviously I'm going to look at the situation as a viewer and I'm going to be like, I think you should do this. And obviously chat's going to be telling you what to do because that's what chat does. But I would want to hear your thought process, if you're talking about it at least constantly, what your thought process is about how you get to that decision, instead of making a quick snap decision and being like, let's just do this.
Yeah.
So when we show a game to any children that we have, they're going to think about this stuff. It sounds like we're getting off topic, but they're going to want to stream it because that's the childhood they're growing up in, right?
Breath of the Wild.
Really?
I'd be like, this is video games. This has every old and new system, gameplay system of video games in one neat little package.
I'm sure the kids would like it, but I'd want to pick something that maybe me and the kids could talk longer.
Like it wouldn't be like something like Mass Effect or anything like that. Something just, you know, like you ever played Mass Effect again? You ever try to go back and see? Like
I played 2.
It's old, man. No, 1.
It is old.
1 is old. Like,
yeah, but nobody plays 1. Why would anybody go back and play 1? Why would anybody go back and play 1?
It's like you're shooting air. It's like you're shooting air, man.
It's because you're asking an RPG studio in the beginning to make a shooter. That's why it didn't turn out that great until they made the second one.
Yeah,
I would want to pick a game that has a little bit more of an educational side to it.
Why? That's not what games were in the beginning.
What?
No, I want to raise my kid on SimCity like I was raised on SimCity. Yeah, Minecraft. I would love to actually... Oh, that sounds like a blast. Playing Minecraft with the kids sounds like a blast.
Yeah, but the point is that it's, behold, young one, this is a video game. Like the quintessential... Like when I think of that quote, I think of like the PS2 era titles that would come out and they'd all have the same UI, they'd have the same controls, that like if you played one, you could play 10 others because they all were in some sort of similar vacuum where they had like an identity to them that was like, this is the most video game thing. You know, we live in an era now where that kind of thing doesn't exist anymore. Like the most video game I've played in a long time is probably something like Destiny or something like that.
I'd probably want to wait a few years for that though. Maybe like show them what video games can potentially do good in the world first as their formative first impression, and then maybe move on to the stereotypical picture perfect, this is what video games as pure entertainment are later.
Yeah, ultimately I think the question is an elitist one, right? It's like your opinion of what
totally
is a video game, right? And it's like, is Fortnite a video game? Do we consider the most popular played video game by definition?
It's a video game, but
I wouldn't introduce my kid to Fortnite at first. I'd want it to be something me and them can connect on, and something that might also like give them a little bit more of a positive impression. We'd end up like fighting if we played Mario Kart, but with Minecraft we can cooperate.
Fucking Hollow Knight, my friend. Hollow Knight.
That is a pretty video game.
It is a pretty
that
video
would
game.
scare the kids.
It's not very kid friendly. I probably wouldn't do that. But like that's like those games are like the Metroidvania games are the only games that I've played through more than once. Like I don't play the games or watch movies more than once. So
yeah, I tend not to consume media multiple times. I definitely don't watch TV series or movies again. Like
yeah, I watched.
I can't.
Whiplash a few times, but like I really love that movie. I had to really like it, and I think Metroidvania games, I think I tend to like be okay with having that upgrade system, like because like the skill is still there. You just have these upgrades that kind of like get you past certain obstacles. So like you can still like learn a boss's pattern and be able to defeat that boss pretty easily and get through it faster. It feels like you're getting somewhere, you know. Other than some games, you know, you literally have to progress in a linear fashion. But like yeah, I don't know. You guys got to pick one. You got to pick one. We got to answer the question.
Breath of the Wild.
I'm going with Minecraft.
Minecraft. I would go old school. I'll go Super Mario World. I feel like it'll be too hard for it, but I'll still do it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you there. I think Mario is like, you know, the ultimate definition of what is a video game.
Yeah. Platformers,
but it's kind of
like
the easy answer.
Yeah.
I still do think of that PS2 era where like a lot of the games were just similar and they felt so video gamey. Power-ups, health points, the same linear level design, like that.
Maybe when the kid's a teenager, we'll go through some PS2 classics like DMC3 and MGS3. Yeah.
I want to show them the bouncer from Square Enix.
With streaming, I do well with Fall Guys on stream. I did win a few times.
I have seen you playing that.
Fall Guys would be a fun kid game. Yeah,
I won a few times. I was like, oh shit. Yeah,
dude, you're gonna take Tim the Tapman's crown.
Please.
You're gonna become the new fall.
Look at this guy gassing me. I can't believe I actually got better at it though. But yeah,
it was amazing. I was watching you. The hardest.
Did you skip through some of the
No, I watched both.
Oh, you watched both
sessions in full.
Oh Jesus. Okay, yeah. I did pretty good the second one. Really good.
You did. And it was hard and painful because it's like I'm like, Matt, just take the mulligan, like do the mulligan, and then go up there and it's like you hit the shot. And I'm like, no, Matt, I'm so sorry.
But did you see those? You remember the time? Like I would be on my last shot and somehow I make it.
There were some really clutch shots, and you'd be like fist pumping 1 minute, and then you'd be like a head in your hands the next minute. Yeah, and I guess that's a good sign of a pretty decent game.
I gotta watch that VOD. Yeah. Next question.
It's good.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one. Anonymous says that they just got one of the old OLED models of the Vita, and it's such a nice console to watch and hold in your hands that it makes me sad to see it got shoveled away so quickly when it could have perfectly held up to this day. Do any of you have fun, lasting memories with it, if any?
Not with the Vita, my friend. I'm sorry. I usually like to play my visual novels on my computer.
Liam is shoving it into the camera right now.
Is it the OLED model though?
This is my original launch. Turn it on. I don't know if it's got any battery.
Oh, look at you!
I don't play it.
You're not a real gamer.
I did not buy one. I don't. This is Liam's moment here.
I had PSPs. I had PSPs, and I hacked them all.
I'm same as Matt. Like I have the DS and the 3DS are the best handhelds ever, right? Yeah, Game Boy is great. I bought a fucking premium boutique.
Hipster Game Boys.
Hipster Game Boy for next year. But the PSP was what introduced me to two of my best friends in the world. Like, because I went to college, my first day of college with a PSP that I'd... Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, you say you're two best friends. Me and George.
Yeah, you and George, of course. I mean, there's no doubt about that. No, there's a difference, Matt, between my brothers and my best friend. Now, come on.
Go ahead.
Don't sell yourself down the river like that. Now, to go back, I'd worked all summer at a supermarket, and I managed to get enough money to buy a PSP, and I went to college. It was my first week of college after that summer, and I had only one game. I think it was Loco Roco. And the one thing that the PSP had was that, that cartridge sharing style thing where you like, if you were in a like Bluetooth, I don't know what they used. Like the DS had it as well, where one person had the game, like you could play multiplayer with them, even if you didn't have the game. I was playing it, and then these two guys noticed I was playing it, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to play Tekken Dark Resurrection on the PSP?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to play another game on the PSP. Let's do it." But it was multiplayer. And they had both had PSPs, and I got introduced to them via the PSP, and I'm always grateful that when the PS Vita got announced, I actually played it at Gamescom in 2010 or 2011, I can't remember, and it was incredible. Like, even if you look back, Google Uncharted, whatever the fucking Uncharted game for PS Vita was, like visual screenshots of that game, and think about playing that game on the Switch. Pretty impressive. Think about playing that on a handheld in 2011. It was one of the most impressive things I've seen. And I was like, immediately from then, sold on the PlayStation Vita.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was so impressive. It was one of the most impressive things I saw at the Gamescom 2011, I think it was.
Like somewhere between PS2 and 3.
Yeah, and at the time, Uncharted 2 had only just come out, I think. It was amazing. And obviously, this thing is gorgeous to hold. It is a thing of beauty. It is absolutely one of the most comfortable, and it is sexy as hell. So I was immediately sold. And yeah, I bought it on launch day. Got quite a few games. I was thankfully, because not many people were buying the PlayStation Vita, I got put on like the UK European Sony press list of games to get sent over for review. So I got like all of the launch games for the PlayStation Vita for review. So I had every game you could play on the Vita at the time. There were not that many, but I had them. And it was great. I had a great time with it. Honest to God. It was super good. And then we all know what happened.
Yeah.
History happened. And then we had Persona Golden.
Persona Golden, man.
The chicken or egg question is, did the Vita not sell well because Sony didn't support it well, or did Sony not support it well because it didn't sell well?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that because they put features on it like remote play for the PlayStation 3, I think they really did believe in it in the beginning. And I remember testing GTA 5 with remote play on the PS Vita was like an impressive thing back before even GTA 5 released. So I think they did believe in it, but it didn't sell. But then I moved to Japan in 2015, and I still remember for 3 or 4 years, the PS Vita shelves were stocked full of games. People still play the PSP here in Japan. The Sony handhelds have lived a pretty decent life.
PSP was good, man.
That's what the driver for Taruno was doing in Aggretsuko. He was playing the PSP while the car drove itself. Yeah.
I think you would see more PSPs than you would see DSs. I think you'd see more PSPs than you'd see Switches, if I'm honest.
Oh, damn.
But the numbers.
But
But the numbers.
I think I loved it. I thought it was great. It sucks it didn't have maybe as many games as we wanted, but it had a lot of great stuff. You could play. It
did have a lot of games. Visual novels.
It had a lot of visual novels, and it had Danganronpa, and it had the Zero Escape series. And
is that a hentai or some shit like that? What is that? I keep hearing it. I keep hearing George talk about it. I keep hearing Liam say some shit about it. I keep hearing Chat say something about it. What is Danganronpa?
The Zero. Oh, Danganronpa. If you cross if Battle Royale was like a murder mystery game.
There's like, how many of them? Are there like 3 or 4?
No, it's like a whole classroom of people.
No, 3 or 4 of like.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4.
Oh, the Danganronpas, I don't know, like 40. I don't know.
40?
No, there's a lot of Danganronpa. There's like the main series, and then they have spin-off series now. Yeah, they sold a lot.
According to Wikipedia, there's 3 main games and 4 spin-off games. Yeah, that's 7 total. Oh, they include the VR, like interactive
VR.
little movie thing on this one too. I actually did the VR Danganronpa thing before I played a real Danganronpa game, and I had no clue what the hell I was looking at.
Of course you did.
It was a friend showing me the PSVR way back in 2015 when this stuff was like demos. Anyways.
Good old PlayStation Vita. Rest in peace, my old friend. Actually, it's funny. I actually have it here because I played Hot Shots Golf, the Vita version, when I was making Coastal Golf.
Hot Shots Golf.
Or everybody loves golf, or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah. That's a name I have not heard in a long time.
The PlayStation Vita port of that game was really good.
Wait a second, I got confused. Hot Shots Golf is not what I was thinking of. What was the edgy golf game on Xbox that had an M rating?
Definitely not that one.
M rating. Jesus.
It's not like hentai golf or something you found on a Flash website, right?
No, it was a Xbox PS2 era golf novelty comedy game where you could like beat each other up and play as a hot babe. Oh God, what was the name of that? It was...
I think it's called Everybody Loves Golf on the Vita. I think in Japan it's called Everybody's Golf. And then they adopted that name for Europe. Oh, I don't know. Hot Shots Golf and Everybody's Golf, I think, are the same game series.
Outlaw Golf. That's the one I was thinking of. Liam, you ever heard of Outlaw Golf?
I would need bear with me. Outlaw Golf.
You might get a kick out of Outlaw Golf.
I just see a bikini model putting a shot.
Yeah, it's like novelty, ridiculous, silly golf, but
right
edgy
up my
for
alley.
The teenagers. I'm sorry that you've become the novelty golf guy.
It has become rather a curse.
Liam,
A blessing and a curse.
why can't I play a girl in a bikini and curse the golf?
Yeah, Liam, that's what all the boys want.
Yeah, because only boys play your game.
Don't worry, I'll pitch it to Ubisoft, and then they'll ask me to do it, and then I'll have to do it.
Oh my god!
And then in 2021,
listen,
Ubisoft will be in trouble again.
I would say no, but if Ubisoft give you some money, you fucking take that shit. Yeah, fucking take that shit. Take that ignorant money.
David B says, hello. With Europe currently in the grips of a heat wave, I don't want to play VR games. The headset gets warm and my face gets sweaty on a regular day, but this is just getting unreasonable. Do you think the sales of VR games can or will be affected by hot weather or climate around their launch? Will VR games have to avoid releasing in hot summer months to be more playable?
Listen, man, I got a portable AC in my room, and my room is not
in my face.
Big, right? It's medium size. When it gets hot, there's nothing I can do. That portable AC just does not do its job. I just had this conversation with my friend Fred. He wanted to play VR games, and I was like, Fred, it is too fucking hot. I don't want to set up the sensors, and I don't want to sweat into. I'm going to sweat into the crevices of my VR headset. I don't want that.
There's no way.
There's no way.
When my aircon broke, and I had that just the floor fan. There's no way. I would have died of heat stroke, I think.
Yeah. I'll be trying to shoot someone, and I'm just all right, I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit.
So far as I can quickly Google up, it doesn't seem like VR seasonal sales are such a thing. It seems like they're still expecting things to spike in the holiday seasons, but not dip during the hot summer months.
I cannot wait for the holidays. I cannot wait for it to get cold. I cannot wait, George.
It's starting to get cool in the evenings. And I'm like,
yeah, it's starting.
This is what I need.
Yes. He's not as like, oh my God, I'm sweating in places I don't want to be sweating. While the AC is on,
I'm not looking forward to this because it's getting real hot now in Georgia in my apartment. And I do need to put that thing back on and check out some inbox games over the next week. So yeah, I know. Cough it up, Liam. Just give me whatever hairball you have ready there, and let's get it over with. I feel like one of the things to consider though is that air conditioning is a lot cheaper in the States than it is in Europe and Japan, even though it doesn't cut it still. But I can put a fan on blast, and fans also are supposed to technically help with motion sickness. I have played VR games in the past with the fan blowing directly on me and had quite a good time. You might come to think of it, David B, you should probably just try that. Just get a fan pointed right at the back of your head, and it keeps the skin on your body oriented to the ground while also giving you a sense of motion and movement. It's one of the classic tricks, I think, for fixing motion sickness issues with the VR is having a fan blowing on you. And come to think of it, it might also be a fix for issues of sweat and heat as well.
Get about 5
I can't imagine
fans.
the kind of rashes you get on your face.
Oh, I love those things. I think they're just the funniest, cutest shit.
Not when they're all sweaty and itchy. Ugh.
But they're fun.
It's like wearing masks. I'll honestly admit, wearing masks outside in Japan is really hot because you just get sweat around your nose and around your mouth and around. If you just shaved, your skin becomes so irritable. Oh, it's
and then you take it off and the splash comes out. dude. Okay, I'm fine.
I will admit, I have been doing Ring Fit in the heat, so
you're a brave
maybe. And that has been dripping pools, and I mean sweaty, gross pools.
I think that the like imprint you get on your skin after you take the headset off is cute, but what is not cute to me and what is really nasty to me is the occasional moments when I have taken off the helmet and like water comes out. Like I never want to I don't even want to think about those moments. Like releasing an actual floodgate. The PSVR has a button that like vents out the steam, and sometimes sweat will actually come out still wet, and it's the grossest bullshit. And it will like trickle down your neck, down your shirt, and start itching your nips.
Oh,
so gross.
That's
so gross.
Yeah,
I want to see Matt stream VR and just see like the glistening purple water from his lights in his room on top of his head.
Oh yeah. Drink some Gatorade so you start sweating purple glowy stuff, and play it under a black light so everyone gets to see the stains.
No, you don't want a black light in here.
We talked about being single earlier.
We just talked about it.
So we're about to run up on the 2-hour mark here on the Dad and Sons podcast, which is usually a great time to start wrapping things up and thinking about moving on with our lives. Shall we?
I'm gonna play more King Simulator.
And
get some work done, and then I'm gonna play some Wasteland.
Make sure everybody www.twitch.com/Matt Visual.
Oh my god.
Get on there.
Oh my god.
The boy is back. The man.
The legend.
The boy has become a man.
Bring the legend back to life.
He's winning crowns in Fall Guys, and he's failing in holes in Curse to Golf. It's brilliant.
Oh my god.
And Matt's transitions and his whole setup and stuff puts everybody to shame. Especially myself.
Matt, we gotta play something together on stream sometime.
Oh, you both should stream at the same time and have
play Hunt Showdown.
Oh god,
let's do it, man.
I could just dip in both chats and be like, "Look, I'm here too. I exist."
I think it'll be entertaining, me and you.
Until then,
we're both tryhards. All right, until then. Thank
you all for listening.
Ryan Gates, you better listen to this episode. I swear to Christ.
Thank you, Ryan Gates, for getting us to do the Aggretsuko Season 2 Spoilercast.
It was a good show.
Sign up to that Patreon, Ryan.
Thanks to another Ryan Lafford, for our hilarious theme song.
So many Ryans.
And thank you to Henry Ing for our hilarious animated background.
On YouTube.
Remember that you can follow us all individually on Twitter, hang out with us personally in the Dad and Sons Patreon Discord with a $5 donation.
And PSA, if the RSS feed you use to find the Dad and Sons podcast has been a little wiggity-woggity in most recent weeks.
It technically shouldn't. We've gotten no complaints about the host migration. No one even knows.
Please email us dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com just in case, because we changed hosts of the show recently.
Yes.
That might have messed it up for some people, but fingers crossed. It was not supposed to.
I believe that we are now hosted using the same platform as the New Yorker's podcasts. That's prestigious, right?
I have no idea who those are.
What is it called again?
Are they good? Are they?
They're from a old respected legacy media brand. So sure.
Media.
Wait, what are they called?
The New Yorker? You guys have never heard of the New Yorker magazine?
No, the hosting service that we're on now.
It's called Art 9. I doubt most listeners are going to know what that is, but apparently it's reliable.
I know who
corporate
Art 19 is. Oh my god, they're so good at what they do. Because I know what they do, and what they do is good.
Yes, I agree.
Now, supposedly, we're a part of them. I can't remember any of this.